Welcome to my February wrap-up. You know the drill. I'm showing you all the books that I've read in February, that I've hauled in February, and that I've unhauled. It was a short month, but I got some reading done. But before we go to the books that I've read, I want to show you the books that I've hauled. And we are starting with this one. The Rebel Witch by Kristen Sigarelli, the second and final book in the Crimson Moss duology. I already got this as an ebook in November, but I pre-ordered the hardcover edition and here it is. And I already read this book, and I already told you about this book in my last final chapter video, so I don't need to talk about it now. You can watch the video and I will put it to my read books. The next book that I've got is Blood Over Brighthaven by Emma Wang, the German edition that came out in February. And I got a review copy of this, so I will read this soon, and I'm very excited to read it because I heard so much good things about this book, so I need to read it as soon as possible. And the next book I've got is a whole series. I got book 3 and 4 from a friend. She gifted the books to me, and so I bought book 1 and 2, and it is the Windy City series by Liz Tomford. This is book 1, Mile High. It is on my March TBR, so I will read it this month. We have book 2, The Right Move, book 3, Caught Up, and book 4, Play Along. And book 5 will be published in May, so I want to know if I like this series, because I don't know yet. So I will start to read book 1 soon and probably make an own vlog for the whole series. These were all the print copies that I've got, but I also hauled 3 ebooks. The first one is a book that I've bought. It is Leather and Lark by Bryn Weaver, the second book in the Ruinous Love trilogy. And I really liked Butcher and Blackbird, so I'm really curious to read book 2 now. And maybe I can read this for the next final chapter vlog, we will see. And I got 2 art copies that are matching a similar topic, because both books are former Hermione fanfictions, so Draco and Hermione from Harry Potter. I haven't read the original fanfictions because I don't know why, but I never read fanfictions. But I got really curious about Hermione fanfiction and wanted to read some of them. So why don't do it now when they get traditionally published? The first one is The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy from Bridget Knightley. The original fanfiction was Draco Malfoy and the Mortifying Ordeal of Being in Love. I didn't know about this one, but it sounded really good. So I will try to do a Hermione fanfiction goes traditionally publishing vlog in the future with this book and with Rose and Change, which was the auction. It is by Julie Soto, and I heard a lot of good things about the fanfiction, and from what I've heard, this one and Manacled, which will be published in fall under the title Alchemized, are the Hermione fanfictions. So I really want to read this. Both books will be published in June, so I have a little bit of time to make this vlog. But before I do that, let's talk about the books that I've read in February. We already have The Rebel Witch here, which was okay. And I read 3 books from my 25 for 2025 list. When It's Real was the first one from it. It is new adult pop star romance with fake dating trope, and I liked it more than I thought I would like it because it is a few years old and sometimes these books can be really problematic from our point of view now, but it wasn't problematic at all. It really showed how lonely you can be in this business and that so many people just want to use you, and that you get really irritated when someone doesn't behave this way and don't crawl up your ass. I really liked it. I enjoyed reading this story, and I'm a little bit sad that this is the last Aaron Watt book for me to read, because I've read the whole Royal series and I've read the other new adult book, which is One Small Thing. So this was the last one. Kennedy and Jen Frederick, the authors behind Aaron Watt, haven't published any more books since then together. So this was it for now. And this was the second book from my 25 for 2025 list. This is the German edition of Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. And it was my first book by Andy Weir. I really like science fiction, but this book was almost a little bit too science heavy. So it really goes in detail about certain topics, and I really had the feeling sometimes that I need to study biology, chemistry, physics, computer science and all of this stuff to really understand this book. But I really liked the story. I was really into it and enjoyed reading so much. I think I enjoyed watching The Martian a little bit more than reading Project Hail Mary. But I'm definitely happy that I have read this book, and I was really into the story and the characters and really wanted to know how they can save the Earth and find a solution to rescue the sun. So it really was a journey in space that I liked and that entertained me very good. And the last book from my 25 for 2025 list was Love Letters to the Dead by Ava de Lyra, a book that I DNF'd pretty early into it because the whole story felt super toxic and I had the feeling that it won't get better, just worse. And I talked with friends about the book and they experienced something similar while reading the story, and nobody has finished the book in my friend group, so I DNF'd it and I don't regret it. And the last physical book that I've read was Redeeming 6, my highlight of the month and for sure a highlight of the year. I really loved the fourth book in the Boys of Town series by Chloe Walsh, and it made me so emotional, and it hurt so much to read this story because it felt so real and I really could understand all the pain that is not just physical, also mental. And I was so into it that I personally gave this 6 out of 5 stars, but I can't recommend reading the story because it is so emotionally heavy. So only read this if you are mentally stable and check the trigger warnings for the story. I can't wait to read Taming 7 in summer when it comes out in Germany, because I read this series in German, and I want to thank the publisher Adrian Verlag again because I got this book as a review copy, and fingers crossed I get Taming 7 also as a review copy. If not, I would definitely buy it, because no way that I'm not reading new books in this series. I will inhale it and hopefully continue reading this with Michelle, my buddy read partner for the series. And after that, I only read one more book, which was an ebook. It was Leave Me Behind by K.M. Moronova, a dark military romance, which was really fucked up, but I was entertained by it and really liked the story. I was really invested in the second half of the story, the first half not so much, but I will definitely continue the series, or more the universe, because K.M. Moronova write a second story in this universe in the moment, but probably not related to Leave Me Behind. So I don't know if we will see these characters again, or better, the characters that are still alive. But I really enjoyed my reading month, even if the month was short and I haven't read that much books. But as I told in a video before, it is because I started writing again, just for fun, not for publishing, together with a friend. And in the 6 or 7 weeks we are writing now, we wrote almost 80,000 words, which is almost 300 pages, so a whole novel. The story isn't close to be finished, and we already joked about that this story will be a 10-book series, but we really enjoy writing, we have fun with it, and that is the important part. And that's the main point why I hadn't so much reading time, which is totally okay, by the way. 6 books is still a lot, and I'm totally okay with not reaching my reading goal or finishing my February TBR that I've built. I tried to finish the books now in March and added them to my March TBR, so I will tell you more about it in the future. But before we do that, I have one more thing to do in this video, which is an unhaul. And when we see this here, I want to unhaul definitely the book that I've DNF'd, Love Letters to the Dead. And I also want to unhaul 2 more books, which are Project Hail Mary and When It's Real by Aaron Watt, because I really enjoyed the books, but I don't think I will reread them in the future. So I think it is better to give them a new home and give somebody else the chance to enjoy them. So this is the summary of my reading month. I hope you enjoyed the video. You can tell me in the comments if you have read one of the books and if you liked it. Like the video if you wanna, follow my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye!